Hello and welcome. You're watching Cricbuzz live. Now, today is a special day. India play Afghanistan, of course. But it's a special day because I remembered a very special quote today. It's a quote from Mr. Enzo Ferrari, who said, "What is behind you doesn't matter." It's an altogether different matter that he then went on to put the engine behind his cars. But today, we're going to live by that philosophy. What is behind us won't matter. There's a World Cup to look forward to for Team India. A lot of promising things to look forward to for Team Afghanistan as well, for which we will have all the discussions right here. But the one thing that Afghanistan just won't be able to put behind them so easily is the defeat against Pakistan last night. PP, how do they do that? They've just said, Mohammad Nabi at the toss, who's won the toss and opted to bowl first, of course, has just said that we took a few sleeping pills last night. It was that tough a night for us. They play the game next day, the very next day. It's not easy.
More than playing next day, I think what could be hurting them was the way they lost the game. They were in the game till, would say, 19th over of that part. Okay, at 129, they would have thought they might have got 15, 20 run shot. But after when, the way they bowled, the way, they restricted Pakistan, the way they dragged the game till 18th over in those last two balls, when you can see it on your screen, 19.2. I think that would be hurting them the most, mainly because they had executed their plans really well. They understood the wicket really well, and they were bowling into wicket. They were bowling slower ones. They were bowling those Yorkers also in previous overs. But it was just probably the last two balls where under pressure, they probably err a bit, and they paid the price for it. So yes, with that, going from Sharjah to Dubai to travel and again play in this hit, it is very difficult. And I mean, no matter what, how fit you are, but it is very difficult. But then it is what it is. More than travel, I think the way they lost would be hurting them the most.
Yeah, the emotional drainage that would have happened, because it's not just one close defeat, of course, against Pakistan they lost. But at the toss, Mohammad Nabi said that we could actually have won the last two games and the fortunes would have been completely different for Afghanistan. But they first lost to Sri Lanka and now to Pakistan. Now the very next day, they get ready to play India, who have changes of their own. Three of them. Of course, Rahul is leading today. Rohit Sharma is rested. That's the news that we got. But there are three changes. Can you guess the other two as well?
I don't know.
Who've been rested?
Maybe Harsha Patel's come in.
Okay. That's right.
Deepak Chahar has come in.
That is right. PPP is always right.
Yeah, so I think that
who have gone out?
Who's gone out?
Yeah.
One of the spinner. Ashwin's gone out?
No,
Chahar's gone out.
Yeah.
Oh, Chahal's gone out.
Chahal's gone out.
Chahal's gone out. So
Hardik has gone out.
Hardik has gone out. So Hardik's also resting.
Obviously. Rohit is also sitting out. He's resting this one. DK comes in. Those are the three changes. What do you make of it? Is it a workload related change? Because India know now they don't have a fortune to look forward to in this tournament at least. They don't have a final to make.
That means India is going to play with another opening pair, and which will be interesting to see who's opening today. Whether
I can see that smirk on your face.
Whether it'll be Virat Kohli opening or Rishabh Pant opening. There's a lot of talk about Rishabh Pant should be opening the innings, but they want a left-handed batsman in between, in the squad. So obviously, I don't know. The changes are legit. There is no doubt about it. They had to get Akshar Patel in, trying to get that balance going. So that was very important for India's point of view. And obviously, Avesh Khan was not fit enough. So they had to get Deepak Chahar. They had to get extra seamer in because Hardik Pandya is resting today, which is also fine because if there is nothing to get out of this game, might as well rest Hardik. And Dinesh Karthik has been the designated batsman, which finishes the game for India. So all the changes which India has done are pretty legit, and it's good to see Ashwin also playing in that game, and probably Chahal did bowl well in the last game. But it's good to see the way India is making those changes. But I'm more interested in seeing who's opening today. I would like to see Virat Kohli open the innings, but I'm more interested in seeing who's opening today.
Now Rohit is sitting this one out, Harsha. Of course, he's resting.
I don't think there's a choice. They're not going to win it. Surya or Rishabh?
Rishabh. Maybe Rishabh. But
maybe Rishabh as a left-hander.
Or maybe grant PPPD's wish and make Virat Kohli open. He's been saying this all along. He's been saying this all along. Make Virat Kohli open.
Maybe he shouldn't say it. Then maybe it would happen.
Okay. That is true. That is true. I think it's.
But I don't know this thing about playing back-to-back. We're not playing back-to-back. No?
Afghanistan is
Afghanistan.
India is not playing back-to-back. No, KL Rahul said at the toss that Rohit Sharma is not playing, but it's tough to play back-to-back.
Okay, that's interesting.
That's interesting. Yeah, so we are not playing back-to-back. But there is enough rest.
He's alluded to the playing conditions last.
But I can understand. I mean, they don't need to say that. I can understand if Rohit doesn't want to play, and you can check out. He's the one player, top order player in form. You need KL Rahul to be in form, and you want Virat Kohli to get as many balls as possible.
Correct. Yeah.
You think they'll leave mid-wicket open again?
As you can say, it's naughty. But let's have a look at India's playing 11 once again. There are 3 changes. Of course, Dinesh Karthik comes in. So I think that's one thing that they want to try and kind of just put a tick mark on. Dinesh Karthik as the finisher. Akshar Patel also comes in. Yuzvendra Chahal is out. And Deepak Chahar is in because Hardik Pandya sits out. So they've kind of tried to create that balance again there, Harsha. But also trying a few things still.
Also, they're getting batting a little deeper. I think Chahar will bat above Bhuvneshwar anyway. I'm happy they're playing Deepak Chahar. Yeah. Because if you think bowling is a problem, then you think Harshal Patel is a possible injury situation, then the more Deepak Chahar plays, the better. I think he should have been in the squad in the first place. Yeah. But there's no point saying what should have happened.
Absolutely.
Now that he's here, he's one of the players to watch for.
Yeah.
Apart from that batting order that Parthiv talked about, how good is Deepak Chahar looking? Is he looking rusty? He looked rusty against Zim, right?
Yeah, but initially
inevitable, right?
Yeah.
Because if he looks good, then I think that Indian team balance changes a little bit. So
yeah. And increasingly, we've talked about how the power play wickets haven't come really for India. So that's one worry that Deepak Chahar can solve with the balls that shape away and then shape in as well for him. Indian fans would hope that happens. Let's have a look at Afghanistan's playing 11 as well. They're unchanged. They'd like to bring the same kind of intensity, but it's going to be very, very difficult, Harsha, because Nabi has just said at the toss that we took sleeping pills. It was a tough night for us. We left straight after the game and we took sleeping pills and come here again, 2 draining losses. To come here again and compete would be difficult.
Or they must follow MS Dhoni's formula, saying if the game is starting at 8, I'll get up at 6 o'clock. So that I can be alert at 11.
Yeah.
If I have to be alert at 11, I can't get up at 10 in the morning. But look at Afghanistan. Unchanged.
Yeah.
Pakistan, largely unchanged in all the games they play. Sri Lanka,
largely unchanged.
They know what their formation is, which is the one team that doesn't yet know what its best 11 is. And the earlier India figures out what its best 11 is, the better. It's a very interesting team, that Afghanistan team. I heard Wasim Akram say in Sharjah they're a different side.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see if they're a different side in Dubai, because with that spin bowling combination, they work very well.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how they chase.
Yeah, the spinners have done really well, but the one thing that you said is so correct. This Indian team is really struggling for that combination. And it's kind of evident in the statements that both the head coach and the captain have also put out in the media. I mean, we've heard both Rohit Sharma and Rahul Dravid talk. Rohit Sharma says, we are still looking to experiment. We want to try out certain things. Rahul Dravid, on the other hand, said, I don't know why you feel we are experimenting. From now on to the World Cup, we'll be playing our best squad. Now, these are mixed messages because throughout this tournament as well, PP, we've seen these changes happening. We've seen changes, be it with DK, who played just 2 balls in that first game, now comes back in this game, has sat out the entire tournament. We've seen, of course, Ravindra Jadeja was a forced change. He went out. Akshar Patel could have been a like-for-like replacement. That also happens in this game, didn't happen earlier. So what's going on there? These are mixed messages.
Though I think, see, Dinesh Karthik's, they didn't play Dinesh Karthik because they wanted a left-handed in between, which Ravindra Jadeja did. Especially what Ravindra Jadeja did against Pakistan, where left-arm spinner was bowling and just took him apart so that Pakistan's plans went for a toss. So I think that was probably one of the reasons why I don't see any other reason why they didn't give him another game. And I think I agree with Rahul by saying that I don't know why people are talking experimenting. In my book, they are gaining the experience of if they play with 5 bowlers, what can happen if they play with 5 bowlers.
Sometimes progress is about learning.
Yep.
Sometimes progress is about knowing what is wrong. Knowing what is wrong is progress too. And I think India have discovered that they cannot play 5. It's good that they 5 bowlers with Hardik as one of them. It's good that they discovered it here. I think it's something we've known all along. But sometimes when Hardik is going well, he gives you 4 overs. It's so tempting to extend the batting and say Hardik's giving me 4 overs.
Yeah.
But we've discovered that is not optimal, and therefore you need to have that batting extension at 7 and 8 if Hardik is playing. I think Hardik is more capable of batting at 5 than of giving you 4 overs consistently, because he's a batsman. I mean, he's a very gifted batsman.
And with Hardik, batting the way he's been batting in IPL, it's not that he's just batting at 5 and 6. He's batted at 3, so he'll give you that flexibility. And as far as bowling is concerned, I think I personally feel he feels slightly more relaxed when there is another bowler, there is another cushion there. Yes, Rohit Sharma did speak about Deepak Hooda's inclusion in last game, where he thought that he might use Deepak Hooda, but he did not. But then everyone knows that there is a difference between Deepak Hooda, the bowler, and Akshar Patel or Ravindra Jadeja, the bowler. So I mean, that could be one of the reasons. But yeah, I mean, the experimentation is going on. I mean, gaining the experience as I said. But now that they should be very clear about this idea, because to me, from last World Cup, the biggest thing which could have come out is not the approach, is not the attitude. It was that India was lacking sixth bowling option. I think that's where India was not getting that right balance. And now they had all this while they were winning all these tournaments, they were winning all these bilateral series. They had sixth bowling option. Here went to Asia Cup and they played with 5 bowlers, and again probably result didn't go their way. So I think India should go back toward the sixth bowler policy.
You think there's still a problem with Hardik's fitness?
No, I don't think
Because he's not playing again today.
I think they are just
I
resting.
think he's ready, yeah.
Yeah, he's
They
ready.
think he's ready, not push him.
Yeah.
But I think they should, the next 6 games that they play in India should be their best combinations.
Yeah. That would be the perfect ground to try and test out everything in terms of the correct combination. You go in with the correct combination, get the correct results, and get the correct momentum as well. But the 5th and 6th bowling
Did you just say momentum?
Did I?
Momentum. He said momentum.
No.
You will not get food. I'm going to complain to GK.
You said momentum.
Sir, एक गलती, first गलती तो माफ होती है सबको. मैं तो
Sir, we've used
youngsters.
another word. Instead of momentum, it's gati matra.
Gati matra.
You're allowed to use gati matra. Gati
that
matra
I
is
can't
the
use
Hindi
here.
word of momentum.
But the one thing that this team India hasn't been able to perhaps crack. I mean, 5-6 bowlers. That's something that Rohit Sharma said, and he said that of course we wanted to try to go in with 5 bowlers. We tried and it didn't work. But apart from that, in other terms of that combination, have India emerged out of this Asia Cup with more questions than answers? Be it that middle order. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, look, everybody wants to have a system where they can play only 5 bowlers. Then those 5 have to be as good as the 5 that Pakistan have. Yeah. Pakistan's strength over the years has always been bowling. Remember, Pakistan are also without Shaheen Afridi. They're without Mohammad Wasim. They're without Shahnawaz Dahani. But they still have that depth to keep coming up with 3 fast bowlers. Luckily for them, the 2 spinners are doing well. I don't know if India have the same quality of 5 bowlers, and so India will always have to go in with 6. And now we know that will happen. And I think we've just got to make peace with the fact that Jadeja will not be available, make peace with that, and empower Akshar Patel and say, you know what, you are a key player for us, batting at 7, empower him and say, look, you're that Jadeja. I think India have no choice now but to do that.
Yeah, and then India will have to use their resources. But overnight, going to find another spinner. But if Ravindra Jadeja is not playing, Akshar Patel is actually a capable player of bowling there and batting there. We saw how he has improved his batting over last 1 year period, and he's bowling well also. So I don't see any reason why India should doubt. Yes, fielding wise, you will Ravindra Jadeja. Any team will miss Ravindra. You cannot compare Ravindra Jadeja with any fielder in the world at this point of time. So yes, but Akshar Patel, if Ravindra Jadeja is your 100, Akshar Patel is not far behind. He would say 80-85. So I don't mind. I know I would have first choice would have been Ravindra Jadeja, but I don't mind Akshar Patel getting into the game and India going with the same combination.
Yeah, as I said the other day, I think in a 50-over game, the difference is accentuated because Jadeja, the batsman, becomes more important. Here at number 7, you want the bowler to be more important than the batsman, and Akshar holds his own. Is probably a little plus as a bowler in this format. So I'm not too worried by Akshar coming in at 7. Depends on who bats at 8 now. If Bhuvi is batting at 8, yes, you have a problem because in the last 2 games batting first, India could not finish powerfully. You need that powerful hitter. So we'll...
Today also, KL said that we want to challenge ourselves. We wanted to bat first anyway. So if we'd won the toss, we'd have batted first.
Yeah, but now they've start winning.
Yeah, but that is true. Naughty again. But I mean, the bowling combinations, of course, there were question marks there, and they've kind of sorted the combination, at least in their heads, that they need to go with 6. There hasn't been a lot of change in the batting. And yet, it's the batting that's perhaps left you with that taste in mouth that there's perhaps something missing, PP.
It is. I think that we always talk about this bowling combination and stuff, and that's the history of cricket. Like when you lose, you change bowlers, you don't change batsmen. Yeah. But India definitely are. There are pluses in this tournament. As we were talking about Rohit Sharma not playing long inning, which he did in last game. We were talking about Virat Kohli's form. He's got a couple of 50s. KL Rahul has been short of games. If India is thinking that is our top 3, then the next 3 games KL Rahul should be playing. Next 6 games KL Rahul should be batting. I mean, you can see that KL strike rate and average. Which is quite average. So maybe they probably would try and give him a longer rope. He's your vice captain. He's captaining the side. So maybe coming to India, playing against Australia and South Africa in Indian conditions, if he finds his form, then it becomes a different team altogether. So I think this next 6 games are going to be crucial. I'm not going to count this game as anything. It could be like KL said, we wanted to challenge because when there is nothing left in the game, you can always get runs. But then back of your mind that I want to score runs, score in the games where it matters the most.
Yeah. India batting first today, and it will be a challenge. I mean, the way, with all their might, Afghanistan defended 130 in Sharjah. Of course, they'll be drained, they'll be tired, they'll be emotionally drained as well. But still, it's a big challenge.
It is. I'd like to look at that graphic one more time, the graphic of the top three. We tend to get carried away by Virat Kohli's batting average. But that batting average doesn't have the same meaning if it is not accompanied by a high number in the next column.
Yeah.
So if you're averaging 50 at strike rate 122, I'd much rather have someone averaging 30 with a strike rate of 150 than someone averaging 50. Because if you're averaging 50 and a strike rate 120, you're playing a lot of balls at a low strike rate. Yeah. So that strike rate for Virat Kohli has to go up at least 10 to 12.
Yeah.
At least.
Okay, and that percentage also, if you can see, the boundary percentages which we are showing, it is 10%, and compare that to Rohit's. Yeah, I mean, I agree with Harsha, and that is the brand of cricket Indian team is also looking to play. That's something with Rohit Sharma has spoken very in every press conference. So then, and that one thing is common between Rahul Bhai's press conference and Rohit's press conference, that we are looking to play in certain way. So yeah, probably that's something which with time, or maybe because there are 130 games behind his belt, so that to get that to higher strike rate, which is going to be very difficult. But it will be important to see what kind of strike rate he plays with in next 6 games.
Also, the other thing that this year's IPL told us, and it's something that the Sunrisers win had told us, the Mumbai Indians win had told us. You looked at Mumbai Indians, you looked at everyone and thought, wow, what batting. It was the bowling that was bowlers win you tournaments.
Yeah.
Sunrisers 2016, Gujarat Titans last year, the bowlers win you tournaments. Batting, you'll find a way of getting to 150, 155, 160. But without the bowlers, you'll never be able to defend 170. So I think that is something India need to focus on. Always have enough bowling options. I think we're a little short on pace. It'll be interesting to see what happens if Deepak Chahar bowls well today, because Ravi Shastri has just said, hasn't he, that the coach may not be on the selection committee, but he has a say. And he's wondering what Shami is doing cooling his heels.
Yeah, something that we've been wondering here on Cricbuzz Live for a very long time.
That's what
but
I think we discussed it during.
We discussed it long ago.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. We've been wondering about Mohammad Shami because he's right. I mean, he's sitting there.
If Chahar is not 100% going into this game, and you find he's bowling at 125, 126, don't be very surprised.
Okay.
If in the team that gets picked, they still find room for.
They can still do it. They can still,
Mohammad Shami.
But they can still go with Deepak Chahar and Shami. Both can come in because one of the spinner has to go out of the squad.
Yes.
So Chahar has come in place of Avesh.
So 4 quicks. 4 quicks. Then one of Bhuvi or Arshdeep will have to go out if you play
maybe
Chahar.
goes out. Yeah. See, we're all scratching our heads on this Team India combination. As PPpedia said, the gems of PPpedia, he said that problem of plenty mein, problem plenty nahi hai. Problem hai. The word problem is the problem. And it's around that we've got a question. Hashtag Ask Cricbuzz Live question today. Let's see who has sent this question. Prateek Patanayak, thank you for your question, Prateek. He asks, if the purpose of all bilateral series and multi-nation tournaments is to figure out the best combination for the World Cup in completely different conditions too, why should fans stay invested in any non-World Cup India games? Prateek is hurting, PP. He's really hurting.
Though, I mean, non-India, you play cricket. I mean, obviously, you want to win ICC trophies, you want to win Asia Cups and World Cups and all of that. But then you can only get your best team if you're playing in this bilateral series. Otherwise, Otherwise, teams would have been playing only World Cup games and Asia Cup games. So I think, I'm sure every player, everyone plays for fans, and that kind of popularity that Indian team is getting, or any team all around the world is getting, is because of fans. So I mean, I would just say to Prateek that stay invested in games. We are all popular only because of fans, because of the support which the team gets.
I mean, I often said the most important person in world cricket at the moment is not Virat Kohli or Joe Root or Jimmy Anderson or Kane Williamson, is the Indian cricket fan.
Absolutely.
But India does want to win those games. It's not that India doesn't want to win those games and that there's only experimentation going on. And if you're home to the biggest league in the world, giving an opportunity to so many people, you should be able to have 24 good players.
Yeah. Also, is it also because now, I mean, we've seen in the past with World Cup teams of the past, they play for 1 year, 2 year. But here, the frequency of these multi-nation tournaments, the frequency of these ICC tournaments is such that you've got only that time in between to kind of figure out a combination for the next tournament.
But there are enough games to find out your combination, and that's been India's problem in last few World Cups. That India probably has not find the right combination. If you talk about 2019 World Cup, till the World Cup team announced, India was not sure about the number 4 player. When India went to last,
He said number 4.
See,
I said number 4.
He said number 4.
no food for PP and TT.
And the other problem was last World Cup where India wasn't sure till the second IPL, second phase of IPL when it started. Before second phase of IPL, KL Rahul was not part of your scheme of things as an opener.
Yeah.
It was Virat Kohli, the captain, had said that me and Rohit Sharma would like to open the innings. So going into World Championship tournaments, you have to be sure of your combinations. And I always feel that it's all about chemistry. Once as an opener, you have to know how other player is playing. Some days he might be hitting the ball, some days you might be hitting the ball really well. And to understand and making sure that whoever is hitting the ball well stays on strike, so that you can use those 6 overs really well. So to me, who is going to open the innings, I think they should be opening in next 6 or 7 games. Today it won't be possible because Rohit Sharma is definitely going to open. But in next 6 games, India should.
Makes a very
solid.
valid point. I know we keep coming back to the IPL because that's what we see a lot of. Rohit Sharma, Quinton de Kock, 2 successful campaigns. One day Rohit goes off, one day Quinton goes off. It's not that Quinton de Kock was scoring 140, 145 strike rate every day. So Rohit Sharma, Quinton de Kock, Ruturaj Gaikwad, Faf du Plessis in another successful campaign. One day Ruturaj goes off, one day Faf goes off. So I think he says when you understand each other and when you know one person's really taking off, having a good day today, the other person's able to adapt his game because they know each other very well.
That is true. But the one opener who's done all of that, who's done everything, ticked all the boxes, is Rahmanullah Gurbaz so far this Asia Cup. He's been brilliant. Look at that strike rate, look at that average, something that you alluded to just a while back, Harsha. That average, that strike rate, that Basra is over 200. And that's brilliant. He's also the only batter to have hit double-digit 6s. He's really coming into his own. And now making a very good case to start for Gujarat Titans next IPL.
Because who was the one floater in that Gujarat Titans team? It was Matthew Wade.
Yeah.
Matthew Wade was playing. Then they played Saha off and on.
Saha played a lot of games.
But now if you have Gurbaz open, you can play someone else at 3. But that's for little. That's for little. That's all Gurbaz of Afghanistan. I think it's a very good combination because Afghanistan are playing some serious cricket here.
Yeah.
So we'll wait and see. But Gurbaz and Zazai is a bit of a slogger. Gurbaz is more of a batsman. Yeah. But I think the arrival of Najibullah at number 4 and they play that Karim Jannat more as a batsman now than anything else. Yeah. I think they finished their batting a little quickly because then you're looking at Nabi, Rashid, Azmatullah, Umar Zai, Karim Jannat. So they're dependent very heavily on those top 4. Yeah. So if you get into those top 4 quickly, I think they're still a little vulnerable. Though Rashid Khan will turn around and tell you, if you give me 10 balls, I'm still as good as anybody over 10 balls.
That is true. He's that confident.
If we can see that batting lineup again, I think Ibrahim Zardan is probably one of their most important players. Because if you look at everyone else, Hazratullah Zazai, he tries to hit from ball 1. Gurbaz is that kind of player. Najibullah Zadran is that kind of player. Nabi, Rashid, Karim Jannat, they're all those kind of players. And if you look at what inning Ibrahim Zadran played against Bangladesh, Sri Lanka.
Against Bangladesh, yes.
Against Bangladesh, where he held the inning together and
allowed Najib to go
out there and play. So probably he's there, Babar Azam or Rizwan kind of a player who will hold the inning from one end and everyone else can just take off from there.
And still with enough capability to himself hit 6s.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, but there's someone who can play both ways. And to me, I think Afghanistan will take a lot out of this tournament. I know they were not in the right side of the result, but they will take out of this tournament that they were very close of beating Pakistan. They were very close of beating Sri Lanka. They've already beat Sri Lanka once, so they will gain a lot of confidence out of this tournament. And probably once they start winning, they could be a different side. They are a team which I feel is on an escalator.
Yeah, they are on the escalator.
I like Najibullah Zadran also.
Too good.
He's a good player.
He's
been a good player for a while now,
absolutely.
Except that he's been scoring those runs in small packets from number 6 and 7. Now he's scoring the bigger runs from number 4. He's a good player.
But something that PP said, just the spirit of this Afghan team. I mean, 2-3 results that could have gone either way, really, for them. And it could have been an entirely different story. But every time they've taken the park in this Asia Cup, they've made a case for playing more games against top nations because they've looked top nations in the eye and said, we belong here.
And I think they might just send a little WhatsApp message to West Indies and Sri Lanka saying, oh, by the way, we're in the main draw. You're playing the first stage.
Yeah, correct. They've been very good. They've been very spirited. And well, Afghanistan fans and cricket fans world over would hope that they come out with the same spirit again here, because it was a heartbreaking loss for them against Pakistan not even 24 hours ago. But the one thing that's changed since yesterday and today is the joy factor question. Yes, it's a new one today. And let's have a look if Joyda is...
As easy as tough. I don't know, yesterday, day before it was easy.
Day before was easy, yeah. Let's have a look at the question today and let's see if it's where it is on that easiness scale. For 3 of the 5 times this has happened in the IPL, Virat Kohli has been involved once and AB de Villiers has been involved twice. Identify the achievement. All right.
Oh, Virat Kohli has been involved once.
Okay, for 3 of the 5 times this has happened in the IPL, Kohli has been involved once, de Villiers
That
twice.
means overall it's happened 5 times.
Yeah.
AB's been involved twice. And Virat's been involved once.
Once.
I think they might have been involved together once. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I've got
Something.
Yeah.
You got it? Oh,
there could be
God,
good,
people media. Stop it. Just stop flexing it. Already. Hashtag Cricbuzz Live, send in your answers and today we'll time it. We'll time how fast you sent your answers and how fast PPPD just cracked it here in his head. Of course, that answer has to be correct still. Still correct?
Yeah.
No, don't say it.
I'll say it once we go off air and then
yeah.
we'll see whether it is right or not.
Oh, that is, see, I told you he flexes.
No, we can't. There's a competition going on. We don't want. We have to look Joyda very good, no?
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so then down to the predictions. India batting first. This is a fresh track in Dubai, unused completely. Afghanistan, a tired bowling attack, but still you'd expect they'd be spirited. Headmaster Bhogle, please go first.
I think India's batting will assert itself today.
Okay.
Going 194.
Oh, wow. 194.
PPP,
I'm going 180. I'm more interested in his opening more than that.
Okay, yeah. We'll find that out in just a bit. 194, 180. If Virat Kohli is opening. Virat Kohli is opening. Yes, frame that reaction. He's been saying it for so long. Virat Kohli should open in the Asia Cup. So long.
Are India's 2 openers fighting for one spot?
Interesting.
Should I change my statement or we might say Virat Kohli opening in World Cup?
No, but I'll tell you one thing.
You can say it right now.
I said right at the start, there are 4 games here for KL Rahul. India have a problem if in these 4 games, KL Rahul is not starting to look at his best. And that is why I really hope, I've been a fan for a long time.
Yeah.
I really hope today he shows how good he is. Though if he does, he's not hiding to nothing. If he doesn't, we'll say he hasn't. If he does, we'll say no pressure and there he scores again.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for India on those bouncy tracks in Australia. He's not afraid of pace. He plays bounce very well. He'll be very good in Australia, but he needs the runs behind him.
So PPPD's wish has been granted. Your wish also will be granted, sir. Today, my score prediction is 205. But also, would you like to revise your prediction?
Heart talking or head talking? 205 is your heart or your head?
Sir, head mein kuch hai nahi, heart hi only talking. PPPD, revise your prediction. 180, sir?
I'm going 180.
180, all right. What are your predictions? Send them in using hashtag Cricbuzz Live. And after that, don't forget to tune in and watch Summer Stalemate, our 2-part docu-series on the England versus India Test series, where Harsha, DK and Michael Vaughan tell you some great stories. Also, the docu-series is replete with HD match visuals. You can catch it on Cricbuzz Plus. But that's all that we have for you in this installment of Cricbuzz Live. Thank you so much, Harsha. Thank you so much, Parthiv, for joining us. Thank you to all of you as well. We'll see you at the end of 10 overs with Cricbuzz Combox and then at the end of the innings with Cricbuzz Live. My name is Tanay Tiwari. See you super soon.